question was pointing out, dude, you're a defensive coordinator.
And y'all losing.
And you was hired as the head coach. And the defense ain't.
The news is you're losing, bro.
But I think on top of that, it's been a habitual problem over multiple seasons.
What's he talking about?
So again, it's not unfair.
No, it's not fair. It's just Stephen A's been riding his coattail about him being fired. Not this year, last year too.
Right.
When you blew that lead against Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean,
27 point lead.
Yeah. It's just I don't understand it.
And you shouldn't have never been the head coach, but you got the head coach. You're a defense coordinator, and the team ain't never reflected.
No, I don't think defensive coordinators can be head coach.
Huh?
I don't think defensive coordinators can't be head coach.
No. If you're a defense coordinator or if you're an offense coordinator,
You
that should be
hearing?
split.
Oh, that's true.
But why would you
Barb.
hire?
Yeah, that's
If they do the defense,
that should be your baby. I hear you.
We're good.
No. I'm just making sure it's not falling.
One, two, 1, 2. Are you hearing me now, Barb?
It doesn't matter whether it's in my way or not. It can't fall down.
Man.
Hello, hello.
Some people are not head coaches. They are not head coaches.
I can deal with you snapping at me for touching it or moving it, but I can't deal with that because I know.
Test, test.
Watch ball.
Hey, I was.
So like in that charge,
the ball went my way.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, he looked out to the left side.
It's not like he didn't.
When is the next game, y'all? Saturday?
Saturday. Doesn't matter. Jackson State. Which, good news for Jackson State was they added a McDonald's All-American via the portal. Kid named Ruffin from Ole Miss. The bad news is he tore his ACL. In October.
Damn. Before he got there? No, while he was there.
While he was there. Yeah,
Oh,
I thought they were going to be the best team in the SWAC this year. Without him, they probably won't, but they still have a number of veterans.
Doesn't Tyler, that used to play here, doesn't he coach at Jackson State?
Alright, I got final
Yes.
box.
Yeah.
Yes, he's at one of them. I'm trying, I think it's Jackson.
He was at Alcorn, I think he left.
Yes. It's Mo Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, he left after 2 years at Alabama State.
Now, I remember when he was there.
Yeah,
that's what
so
I
he's
thought
from
he was.
Jackson.
Alright, I
Yeah,
got
I
final
know
box.
that.
Did I miss anyone?
Yeah, he's from Jackson.
And let Jackson State, well, listed Jackson State on his recruiting list. I'm not saying he's automatically gonna go there. He gave them love coming out of
Yeah,
Jackson.
I talked to him.
Yeah, he gave them love out there.
I've talked to him the last 2 summers.
Yeah.
He's,
How you doing?
he's,
You looking for somebody?
I'm looking for my husband.
Miss AD, how you doing? He out there somewhere. But he comes
usually in the
back
hallway, I
here.
think.
Yeah, he always comes back here for the interview.
It's good.
Did you get him on camera?
Yeah.
No, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, that's it ain't started yet, but it's here.
I was telling
though.
you that. Hoping that you got a
probably bring the American
Yeah, I
coach
think I
in
saw.
first.
Yeah, American coach probably come first.
gotta try to run the tape back.
I
don't have one.
You like him?
If you have the charger, I can plug it in, but I don't have one.
Yeah.
What do you have?
I'm a field.
This pair probably is.
Yes.
Typically, are they pretty good?
Yeah. They're not, they're in some ways better than they used to be, and in some ways worse.
I need a plug, yeah.
Better on the plug. You look at some of those.
You're lucky that.
And it's just,
Squares.
it's weird.
Yeah.
So,
They're not as, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Don't
Make sure you don't
by
leave
my
it
phone.
The quality never is the same. And the price doubles.
Still a money maker, right?
everybody's inflated.
Nike's the same goddamn way.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's not the
So it's not the same.
it's not the same quality it used to be, man.
We usually stay here, but I'm from
Found that Sony got
like the Michael. What are you gonna do?
Getting on a plane to see my family in Phoenix tomorrow.
My thought is,
Damn, they suck.
right?
There's one in Boston, this is going always down, you know,
This is
mom and dad are still there, his mother's there, and sister's coming in from
The weather is so,
Nobody thinks
this time of year how.
Well, I was not calling it December.
And no one knows where you're.
And that sounds like 5 years ago.
It just seems like
So
Try
they-
it, but yes,
like
it's-
mine,
do things
have no
like start all over again.
Pretty hot. It's 2-3
It's
times
high.
a year.
Yeah,
But it's,
but Canada's a big
I've
country.
been there.
Sometimes.
Like,
Like Homer Simpson.
that's how where I was going with it. That's exactly where I was going with the same thing.
So it's like
Nice
a
and round.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's going on. Like,
I used to go there too. Actually, we used to go to this bar, used to have that
I
show.
like it, that's why I try to go back every.
it ain't about having
Something
biggest
said, it was like
companies.
$2.
We gonna get snow ice.
Oh my gosh, we get so much snow, snow all the time, from like, October to probably.
Get in early, have your fun, and
So-
get
And
out.
get out and be poured out of there.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It was,
Some people,
it was
I
only
don't, but I'm going 5, so when I'm in the house, I go back and see everybody.
you see what I'm saying? So,
those are my bar house.
but
Well,
the way
I'm
it is, change.
And, you know,
No matter whatever camera they come out with.
but we have a big family, so
And
everybody.
Well, did you hit those,
when you come over this, now you gotta buy all. Yeah,
Fairfax
you
bars?
can't.
Spend time with my own, so
Not like that.
it's been, especially with,
Man, you didn't really have any bars. FSU did, but it was
Advertise a lot.
redneck.
No, they had,
Stick on
yeah, they have,
When that
they have
when that
their,
beer gets
so
popping,
we
too.
can work
they
down.
have
Yeah.
their footprints.
Yeah.
And they know who they are.
About 3 blocks away, actually, in Chinatown.
You don't
so
need
it's
to,
very
when
convenient.
So do
you
you walk over?
have
Oh,
that
that's
now,
good, you know, it's good about
a lot of places, they're beer and so they trying to get all of those laws.
Did y'all have any representation in y'all rooms on
I mean,
Mason
they-
campus?
they-
Like in the dorm? Did y'all
They,
have any
they have their products varying,
inter-room visitation, like women spending the night?
for different consumers.
I saw a blog,
It wasn't against the rules though, or was it against the rules? Okay, got it.
no, not as fancy as the national website.
I'm sorry, was that? Tip your hat off to Georgetown. They battled. It's pretty much what I expected. You know, Ed Cooley's one of the better coaches around, someone I really respect in our profession. You know, I wish we could have put Jaden Epps in a box and kept him off the court. But he had some big time shots. But I was really pleased with how our guys competed. This is what we need. This is the reason why we play games like this in a non-conference, because going into the Patriot League, this is it's going to pay dividends. It's going to pay dividends.
Coach, talk about switching your defenses. You did it liberally, you know, diamond, 1-2-2.
Yeah.
I think 2-2-1 maybe, full court man. I mean zone. You were trying to keep them off guard. Talk about that.
Yeah, they got some really good individual players. You know, in particular Styles and Epps. We just felt we had to do some things to keep them off balance and hope that we can guard the last 12 seconds or so of the shot clock. That was the impetus behind that. And that's something that we work on. That's going to be a part of our DNA. We still got a ways to go with that. But that was the thought process behind it, trying to keep them off balance and off kilter a little bit.
How'd you get up 10, and how did they get back in the game afterward?
Man, the game of basketball is so crazy, man. I mean, Matt Mayock hadn't made a shot the entire game. He hit a big-time three, get a little momentum, and then, you know, because you're playing hard, ball bounces away sometimes. You know, Matt Rogers got an offensive rebound, a putback or something like that. So that was pretty much it. And I thought we executed. I thought we put them in ball screens. You know, once we saw Eli. Eli's a magician with the basketball, Elijah Stevens, and we pretty much, I think that was a big part of us getting that lead. You know, we controlled the tempo a little bit, ball was in his hands, and he got the ball to the right people at the right time.
On the Epps 3, did you want to foul, and was it their action that didn't allow you to foul?
Yeah, a little bit of that. You know, we did want to foul. You know, he got loose. You know, we were in a little bit of zone. We probably should have been in a man-up situation and just switched everything. But the idea was to foul. You know, so I was a little surprised that Matt got out there and closed out. You know, and didn't foul right away. Maybe he felt because he had already caught it and he was by the 3-point line, he didn't want to foul him. But that was the thought process.
And then with your team, you came in with it's a new voice, it's a new style. Yet this team looked like they've adapted to you so quickly. just what are the good things that came out of today's game that shows the progress that this roster has made?
I think we took a few punches throughout the course of this game. And when I first got this job, that was my biggest concern, over watching a number of their games and just, will they be able to take a punch? And we got some tough guys, emotionally, mentally, and that was the biggest takeaway from today was the fact that, like, we can take punches. And when you can do that, you're going to be able to win games on the road. You'll be able to go and play anywhere at any time. And more importantly for us, that'll help us to hopefully win a Patriot League championship.
Along those lines, the pressure that they started kind of applying to you around the under 4 or so, how did you feel like you adapted to that? You just certainly on the inbound passes and whatnot. And
it's disappointing. Jeff is taking pretty good care of the basketball. I thought he probably got caught a little bit too deep, and I was on the verge of calling a timeout. And that's the other thing we talk about, things I learned, like our guys. I'm learning more about our guys, but I'm learning too. I would go back right now as a first-time head coach. I would go back and do 5 or 6 different things different down the stretch. So I'm going to be better for it. I told my team I'll take this because I think I could have done some things to help put them in position to win, and that's my job. So just gotta get better with that.
And how much you guys were in a spot playing a Big East team to start the season. How much different is this team now 2 weeks later, just in terms of its development?
I think we're making shots more. That's one of the difference. I mean, I think we got some very good shots at Villanova. The same shots that we got last game against NJIT, we make 13 threes. We got the same shots at Villanova. Obviously it's a difference in length and athleticism. Villanova's a team I think it's going to be an NCAA tournament team. But yes, this is invaluable for us, the experience that we're going to get against teams like this at this level. There's no doubt about it.
John Titel from Hoops HD. This is your first close game of the year. As somebody who's played for a couple of local legends like Morgan Wooten and Gary Williams, I was curious if any of them gave you advice about the most important factor to the outcome of a close game.
Make free throws. Coach Wooten was always big on that, ball security and making free throws. Coach Williams is just, playing as hard as you possibly can to the very end. But I thought we did that, man. We did that for the majority of the game, and ball didn't bounce your way a couple times. Yeah.
Coach, talk about your Mid-Atlantic Select duo of Ball and Rogers. Rogers' skill level has really improved since he was in high school. He's a force for you. And Ball is like a really good point forward for you. He kind of makes it, quarterbacks it in the half court, and is an efficient player.
Yeah, both of those guys provide a toughness for us. And that's their true value. I mean, obviously, Matt, we're playing through him in the middle. I saw him as a high school as well. He's grown, and that's what college kids are supposed to do. Year by year, they get better and better. We're going to put him in positions where he's going to be able to utilize his strength inside and also his shooting ability outside. And Lincoln is just one of those guys, man. Like, you wish you had 4 or 5 of them on your team. Where he's going to do so many things that don't show up in the stat sheet. And one of the biggest things that I value about players is toughness, and he's got that in spades. Yeah.
Coach, you were held without a field goal over the last 4 minutes of overtime. How do you fix that moving forward, where you get better looks or just get them to fall late in games?
I think that's going to be, incumbent on me to learn and get an idea of, like, in the moment, what's going to work best for our team. I got to go off the play sheet and say, hey, based off the way Georgetown is playing, this is how we got to do it. There's no experience. There's no substitute for experience. And now that I've been through it, I think it's going to help me as a coach. I think our guys got some decent looks, but they could have gotten better ones. And again, that's on me. Yeah. That's it. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
I'll be all right.
Karen, thank you. I will see you Wednesday.
Wednesday or Tuesday? Maryland plays on Tuesday.
Maryland plays Saturday, they play Mount St. Mary's. They play them out in the other part of this MTE.
Oh, so hold on. How is the MTE structured? It's like other games besides the one?
So the MTE rules have changed.
The guy.
So, a couple years ago, they switched it, so you get 29 games plus 2 games into the MTE, or 28 plus 3. So, all you have to do is rope 2 other teams in to play you and then play each other, and you got an MTE. It's nonsense. Like, UNBC goes to MTE this week, where they played Sacred Heart on Friday morning. Loyola played Sacred Heart yesterday morning. UNBC played. Good answer. They get to play. Yes, but you're probably not going to do it with one of these teams. Like, if you're going to Maui or.
That's why. Jamaica, last year.
Yes.
Okay.
For this is just a scheduling flaw.
I got you.
And for Georgetown, it's 2 games.
So you probably have to play at the guard, or you have to play in the southeast spot or something like. You have to play at the guard or southeast spot. Yeah. Okay. All right. For to be able to NIL.
Yeah.
They say if you can make it north, you can make it where really it's in between.
Set.
We'll open with a statement from Coach.
That game went a lot of different ways. First, I thought American played. I thought they played their tails off. I thought they were prepared. I thought they were urgent. I thought they were physical. Coach did an unbelievable job with their preparation to prepare for us. Had us on our heels for about 36 minutes. So you got to give them a lot of credit. Loved their fight. I loved their will. And I was really impressed with how Coach handled the entire game. I'm really, really proud of his growth in a short period of time as a head coach. And American is very, very fortunate to have somebody that has, to have him on the sideline. With our men, I thought it was a resilient win. It was one of the first times we've won here with respect to instilling a culture of resilience, of togetherness, of unselfishness, of complete buy-in and trust to what we, the staff, are trying to instill in our men. Again, when you look at some of our players, all but one is a transfer, and that would be Fielder, all but one. So the trust and buy-in from the time we recruited them to have a game like this and for it to fall our way the way it did, right? Because the way it did, because that game could have been over. I think we were down double digits with under 4, right at 4 minutes. But I got to give our staff the credit. Our staff did an incredible job with the decisions that we were trying to talk about. And then I thought Jaden played well down the stretch. I thought we made the right plays down the stretch to get it to overtime, whether it was a screen. But to me, that was trying to instill a culture of resilience, the DNA of the organization of mental toughness, because we didn't play well. We didn't play well. And sometimes you got to find a way to win when you don't play well. So that's a great organization win. We need a break. We really do. We got some players banged up right here. You got Muhammad Ali right here who's had, he's got stitches. He got hit in the lip. We got to get Jay healthy. We got to get Jaden healthy, who's also playing a little banged up. But extremely proud of our men, extremely proud of our men. And I want to thank the crowd that came out and got behind us. That's what it's all about, is us doing it together.
And what do you think kind of flipped for you guys with about 6 minutes to go? I mean, I know there was obviously, you used some more pressure for sure, particularly in inbound passes, but what stood out as what kind of changed, besides obviously Jaden hitting a lot of shots?
Our attitude. It's just our attitude, right? Sometimes it's just the will and the want to try to do it, right? I don't think it was anything spectacular that we did on the sideline. It was more our men just having a will and a fight to want to do it. I don't have the answer for somebody's will and want. That to me is just pride. And I thought that Hoya pride really came out of our men. I wish I had the right answer for you, but that's kind of what I feel.
Hey, Coach, the play on the game tying 3 from Epps, one, were you expecting to be fouled? And 2, was it the action that you ran make it tough for AU to get out there to foul you?
So they were trying to foul, and we knew that. But if the right screen, supreme screen, caused the separation for them not to have a body next to him, right? And that's something that we practice all the time, our late game situations, right, men? That's exactly what we do at the end of practice in our preparation. And they're hard on a 12-hour turnaround to scout, right? I'm going to have to go back into the archives and reevaluate that as far as playing back-to-back this early with a new team. I don't know if that was a smart thing for us to do.
And Jaden, for you, you went through a 6 or 7 minute stretch where you were on a heater. How do you know kind of when to make that decision of going and knowing that you've put that your team on your back, and how do you navigate that?
Like you said, in the moment I just had it going, and that's how coach always coach. He tell us all the time, whoever's cooking, whoever got it going, he gonna come to you. So I had it cooking. My teammates were finding me. My teammates were trusting in me, and he just found me open shots, and my teammates trusted in me. So and that's how coach is. Like it could have been anybody. If you cooking, he gonna keep coming to you.
And this is for both of you guys in the last 4 minutes. It was a lot of adversity, and you guys stayed together. What's the communication like to make sure that you stay connected when you have that sort of adversity going down the stretch?
Yeah, I would say just keep believing, because we got down by like 10 late, and we just had to, keep believing in each other and keep believing in the game plan.
And coach always tell us, like, no matter what, we always got each other. We got doubters. And even on away games, like, we might be against a big crowd. So all the time, like, he tell us, dead balls, huddle, come together, and just always believe, like Trez said, and just always stay together no matter what.
Epps, did their switch in defenses and pressures, did that kind of conspire to put you guys on your heels at points in the game?
Yeah, I mean, when we scouted them, we knew they were going to try to pressure us. We've kind of been a high turnover team lately, trying to get that down. So Coach told us that they were going to try to pressure us and things like that. And at the beginning, we were playing on our heels, and me and Rowan, the guards, we're going to go back to the drawing board, and we're gonna fix that. But we were playing on our heels at first, but as we built confidence and as the game went on, we kind of started playing downhill with it.
Styles, you guys were out-rebounded, and by a large margin during the game, you kind of closed it at the end. Do you expect a lot of boxing out drills in practice next week? Is that going to be a focus?
I'm pretty sure it will be. We can't keep losing on the boards. You got to be more aggressive. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a main vocal point in next practice.
Do you feel like that comeback and being able to force overtime kind of invigorated your guys at the defensive end once you got to overtime? Because it felt like that was a different sort of thing than what we had seen for probably the first 35 minutes.
And I think that answers your question. I think whenever our guys, a lot of people think energy is given off of made shots. Energy is given off of stops that create easy baskets. So once our men, we were getting stops and our bodies were flying around and our athleticism came into play, I thought they methodically put us to sleep a couple of times. And for whatever reason, we just couldn't wake up, and they were running their offense. And we had so many different breakdowns. So what you saw today was you just saw us continuing trying to develop our defensive system. And in the end, offensively, as much as we've been struggling with the ball, their press actually helped us get back into the game offensively. It actually fired us differently, because the floor looked like an ocean with the pressure. And when I have these little mighty mites getting into the lane and getting into the paint, it allowed us for penetrating pitch opportunities, and then the basket began to open up once we were making perimeter shots. So our defense invigorated us more so than our offense.
John Titel from Hoops HD for Coach. You talked about how the past 2 games have been 20-plus turnover games. Is it something in practice that you can see the team is just getting better, either mentally or physically or otherwise, at ball control?
Yeah, we watch a lot of film, and it's going to be an issue we're going to have to deal with all year as far as getting our guys to get confident to advance the ball, right? We have to advance the ball against pressure, move it, attack, move it, all right? Anytime a team presses you, 2 are on the ball. So behind the ball is always, we have the advantage. If two come to the ball, it's 4-on-3 somewhere on the floor. And we have to do a better job coaching them, recognizing where those bodies are and where they belong on the floor. You know, and I thought we got a little bit better today with it. We did. A little bit better. It was a couple of costly turnovers, but I didn't think it cost us the game as much as the last couple of games where we was a hot potato.
Coach, what went into playing Cam Baycoat so much down the stretch after he only got a couple minutes early on?
Gut feeling. I thought the staff did a really good job of, you know, he's the ultimate settle you down guy. He's a little bit older. He's been in a lot of college games. I like his demeanor. I don't think he gets too rattled. He knows where the ball's supposed to go. I think he's like a coach on the floor, and because he's not this demonstrative, outspoken, you know, person, he just does his job and he does it the right way, right? He's the guy that makes a lot of companies a lot of money, and everybody gives the CEO all the credit. He deserves all the credit. He did a hell of a job those last 6 minutes of the game, right? And he was the silent assassin today. So good for you for pointing that out.
And with Jay, is he just was that precautionary as much as anything else, kind of limiting the minutes there in the second half?
Yeah, so you know he was struggling, and yeah, it's a long season, and he's had an injury where he was out for 6 weeks, and you can see right when he did it, we tried to go with him, but he was moving pretty slow. So we want to make sure we always protect the health and wellness of our men.
And Dontrez, the playing 2 in 2 days and getting through this after having the last couple games, how much do you think this helps with the maturity of this bunch as you guys head further into the season?
Yeah, I feel like it helps a lot, especially going through the adversity we've been through. You guys being banged up and being down late down the stretch, and just we got to grow up. And I feel like these past 2 days we did that.
I think what people are seeing with Dontrez is a young man really coming into his own. Right, I think every game Trez has played for us wasn't a heavy minute game at his last school, so he didn't have all the, I would say I won't even use pressure, I would say the expectation of which we have as a staff. And I saw over the last 2 weeks in practice, his emotional toughness, his mental toughness, his physical toughness, his ability to make shots, and just believing in himself a little bit more. Little by little, Dontrez is slowly coming up the ranks as far as being a player that is going to be somebody that the Big East will definitely know about. Happy holidays, guys, and enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Are they coming over your house for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but they're only going to be there for a minute. No, I got our guys.